you as you're supporting your students' journey and particularly their start at UNSW. Yeah, so we have a lot more parents and caregivers here than we were expecting. So I hope you will give us some warm smiles throughout, and particularly to my beautiful student volunteer who's here, just to make sure that she's at ease throughout the session. So I'm sure it's quite intimidating to talk to this many parents. I have tried to tell her that the parents and caregivers that come to these sessions are usually the really beautiful ones. You are here because you want the best for your child, and therefore I'm sure that you're going to be a really nice audience. My name is Pia Larsen, and I am a student support advisor working in the student support team here at UNSW. I'd like to welcome you to UNSW and welcome you to the UNSW family. And I'd like to congratulate you on having made the decision to choose UNSW as the study destination for your child. I worked with supporting students now for 23 years. Across different universities and different roles in Sweden, which is my home country, as you would have seen from my Swedish appearance, and here in Australia, and I can confidently say that this is a university that really cares about the students and the student success. And I think the fact that we're running a session like this as well illustrates that. So I'm here today with Lexi Wang, who is one of our lovely students. She is a cultural mentor, she's also a Buddy Up mentor, she's been involved in Let's Communicate, and she's studying here too, as well, of course. So she's studying a Master of Education with a specialization in gifted education, and she's here to provide that really valuable student perspective and can answer any questions that you would have about what it's like to be a student here. Very often I find that parents find it way more interesting to listen to her than it is to me, but I hope you will be patient throughout. I will be covering a wide range of information in this session, and all the topics that are included have been decided on by previous parents and caregivers. So we always ask, what is the kind of information that you'd like? And then we try to incorporate that in this session. We will be sending out this presentation afterwards to any parents that have registered. If you didn't register for the event and you would like us to send you the presentation later, then you can just come down afterwards and I can take down your email details. After we've gone through all the information, there will be some catering available if you would like to stay around and also learn from each other. I know that this is a nice opportunity for parents to also talk to each other and talk about where you went to buy cutlery for your child, or how you're finding Sydney so far, or if you've been to any nice restaurants. So it's a nice event for you to also, or a nice opportunity for you to also network amongst each other. Now, before we kick on with all the information, I would like to acknowledge that we're meeting today on the land of the Gadigal and Bidjigal people of the Eora Nation, who are the traditional custodians of the land upon which UNSW Sydney stands, and I would like to pay my respects to elders past and present. Now, this is an important thing for us to acknowledge, and I would like to extend that deep respect that we have for our First Nations people to any First Nation people that are here today as well. Now, feel free to ask questions throughout the session. But if you've got very personal questions about your particular student's needs, then you can wait until afterwards and we can have a chat maybe while we're having some snacks afterwards. I will start off by talking a little bit about the support services that we have at UNSW. At UNSW, we really offer a wide range of supports to students from the time that they start their journey at UNSW until it's time for them to move into the next step of their journey. So orientation and O-Week is part of the transitioning in supports that we have. And throughout this period, we also run English language conversation classes and a wide range of social events to get students to meet other students and feel like this is their home. But we also offer a wide range of supports and programs to engage students throughout and to help students become better students. And part of that is also offering individual support to students that might need any help. And then, of course, in preparation for completing their studies, we run workshops around how to prepare for the Australian workplace for those students who are planning on staying here, and also visa pathways. And then for students who are planning on joining the global work market, we also prepare them for what's ahead. So it's really supporting students from start to finish and throughout the entire life cycle. I'm a student support advisor, like I mentioned, and I've been part of the student support team now for 15 years. We offer a wide range of support to students, ranging from study habits and improving study routines to personal support. You know, your student will go through and experience a lot of things while they're here, and it might make it more difficult for them to study. So we can offer a wide range of support in holding your student with any types of issues that they might have that is impacting on their studies. We support students with advice around international student matters. So students who might be concerned about satisfying their visa criteria can also come to us for guidance. A lot of students come to us at the moment because they're experiencing slight difficulties to manage their finances. As you may have noticed, Sydney is quite an expensive place. And while I think everyone was aware before coming here, I think it's always a little bit of a surprise. And sometimes it might just help to talk to someone about how to make the money stretch further and what you can do to get by as well as possible. We also have some students approaching us that are experiencing significant financial hardship. So we have some limited financial hardship grants to support those students to access things like food and rent. We offer support with crisis accommodation for students who might be unhoused, and food vouchers for students who are unable to feed themselves. We also help students with finding accommodation. We've got an off-campus accommodation support team, so we don't do that as student support advisor, but the off-campus accommodation support team can help students access off-campus accommodation. We also help students, of course, with adjusting to university life and anything and everything that may impact on their journey. As part of that is also if students, for example, wind up in hospital or involved in an accident, the hospitals as well as the police know to contact the university so that we can get involved in case managing support to the student, and that might mean reaching out to parents. It might mean reaching out to academics to make sure that the students aren't disadvantaged in their studies for whatever happens. And so we really case manage whole person holistic support in our team. And we're a team of 7 really committed and dedicated student support advisors from all over the world. And the good thing about that is that several of us are multilingual and have also experienced what it's like to be overseas ourselves. So like I mentioned before, I am from Sweden, but I'm also half Indonesian, half Swedish, and I studied as part of my university journey in Indonesia. I had quite a rough introduction to Indonesia, even if I had been there multiple times before, and I wasn't expecting that. But after about 6 months, everything changed, and it turned out to be the absolute best experience in the world. But I know just how difficult it can be for students. As much as you're excited at the start, it can also be quite overwhelming to be away from your parents for the first time, to all of a sudden have to cook for yourself. And trust me, I've shared a lot of recipes and ways to actually cook really simple things for many of my students. There are a lot of things even knowing that you have to flag down the bus by waving to the bus, all those things can feel quite overpowering if you don't actually know it. You feel like a little child again. So we're well aware of the circumstances that impact on our students and can really support your students well as a result. We don't operate in a vacuum, of course. There are a lot of other teams at UNSW that will also support your students. So any students that find themselves getting stuck, feeling really low or really emotionally overwhelmed, we have free counselling on campus as well. We're the team, of course, for university and life stresses. If anything happens and your student experiences any kind of harassment, whether it's sexual harassment or bullying on campus, we take those things very seriously. They tend to not happen very often, so I do want to reassure you, but we do have really good wraparound support around that as well, just to address any kind of issues and concerns that come about. We have a lovely team called Equitable Learning Services that help students with academic adjustments. So we have a lot of students with ADHD or who are experiencing depression or anxiety that might make it just a little bit harder for them to engage successfully with their studies. And as long as they have a diagnosis, they can register with Equitable Learning Services and get extra time during exam times or to submit assessments. Some of our students with social anxiety that might find it really difficult and scary to talk in front of a lot of people can usually get adjustments around just doing presentations for the lecture by themselves. Some students thrive more and are better able to concentrate if they are in exam rooms where there are just a couple of other people rather than in exam rooms with hundreds of students, and then we can organize that as well. So there are lots of support that we offer to students just to make sure that that everyone has the same ability to succeed at UNSW. We have an academic skills team as well that supports students around developing academic skills. So a lot of our international students, for example, might need a little bit of encouragement in how to think critically, how to write essays in the appropriate way, and adjusting to the expectations of academics, and then the academic skills team is the appropriate support team for that. We also have special considerations, so sometimes students get sick or are unwell when they have exams, and they can submit a special consideration application and get to do their assessment at another time. And then we have a really amazing UNSW health service. So we've got really great health support on campus. Students can go there and choose whether they would like to see a female or a male doctor. And they're directly connected to the overseas health insurance provider Medibank, which means that any international student that come there and show them that they have a Medibank overseas health insurance cover don't have to pay any extra fees out of pocket. Otherwise, they might have to pay fees if they're out in the community. So it's really great. And the UNSW health services are also great because they very well know what kind of support that students need for special consideration, what kind of support letters they need. So it's great that we've got them on campus, and a lot of the staff go there as well. If your student is finding it difficult to know what courses to enroll in, or if they have any inquiries about their program, the place to go is the nucleus. That's the student hub, which is located in the library on ground floor. Of course, they can later on, once they start their term, also ask questions to the lecturers, but the lecturers won't be able to give them really holistic program advice. So the Faculty Student Services are located in the library. When it comes to making friends, ARC, so our student association, is the main place to go, and we'll talk a little bit more about them. And the off-campus accommodation support I've already mentioned. The UNSW library also offers a wide range of support. They do study sessions. They also, students can book in with them if they're going to do research and can get help with where to find the resources that they need for their research. ARC is probably it is an organisation that you will see a lot of during orientation week. They are the ones who co-coordinate a week and are responsible for all the really fun events across campus. We have a really vibrant student organisation, and within the student organisation there are hundreds and hundreds of subgroups. So a student who's really interested in archery, for example, can find an archery group within UNSW, ARC student groups. And anything and everything that a student is interested in, they would be able to find other peers interested in the same thing through ARC. They are very carefully monitored. This is a question that often comes up. Our student association is very carefully monitored by UNSW as well. So we know that the events that they put together, that they have a really good risk assessment plan in place for all their events, just to make sure that everyone are enjoying themselves and are also safe during their events. We also have a great safety team. UNSW, so the student support team, we meet with both the police and UNSW security on a regular basis just to talk through any trends that are happening in general in the nearby areas, and also any kind of issues that have come up at UNSW. I would like to point out that this is generally a really safe environment. It's very rare that things happen on campus and around campus, but of course there are minor thefts and ever so often students that sorry, my Swedish brain is kicking in. Yeah, but students that get their devices stolen from them. Sorry, I'm not laughing because of the incidents, but because of my Swedish brain in the morning. It happens very rarely, but of course it's just important for students to be just as mindful outside of campus and on campus as they would anywhere else. But generally it's very low crime rates, so I just want to put you at ease. We have safety escorts here available 24/7, which means that any students that are studying at night time, and we do have students during the exam time that love spending time at the law library studying for their exams. If they would like to have an escort just to get to the nearby public transport, or if we have a postgraduate student or an undergraduate student just wanting an escort from their class to the public transport, for example, all they have to do is call up security and someone will come and escort them until they feel safe. And this is a service that both staff and students use, so there's absolutely no shame in using them, and they are there to support our UNSW community. They also have a safety bus that operates in the evening, and it goes around the library and just the nearby suburbs. So sometimes students are even able to get on that and get a ride to their accommodation if they live nearby. And they can track exactly where the bus is on an app. So just know that there's lots of things here to keep your students safe. There are also safety help points that you will see across the campus, and there are buttons in every elevator that students can press to just get directly connected to our main safety office, which is located in Gate 2. Okay, have you, Lexi, by any chance used any of our support services?
Yeah, I used most of them, I think. First, as students, I am still okay. I really appreciate that you came here for your children, because as for me, my parents, they can't speak English. So I kind of depend on myself. And all the support I got is from my friends and also the UNSW supports. So I used to live nearby the campus, so I just use the shuttle bus from the main campus. We have 2 more campuses called Randwick and Paddington. If you want to, if you have courses there or you want to join some events here, it's okay to use the shuttle bus, and that is totally free. And also the bus drivers there, the part of the community part. And the safety.
Oh, there's not the bus there.
Oh yeah, my Chinese friend just got me.
This is going to happen to your children too. But see that it happens to everyone, and it's usually good when they know that it happens to everyone.
Yeah, and I also use some workshops like the academic skills, my English week to improve your English skills, and also we have so many societies and events here to support you. You can make new friends here to share your same experience with some new people, and also through the communication, it is the best way to improve your oral English. So I think everything is amazing, and we are looking forward to that. Yeah.
This is integrated in the app which students use for security.
Sorry?
The shuttle bus and the post service, the security stuff.
Yeah.
It's all integrated in the app also.
Yeah, it's integrated. Yeah. And if you're looking for the shuttle buses near the library, and you can find the timetable on the UNSW website, and you can just follow the timetable, you just get there and get in the bus and.
Okay, so just a few tips on how to help the student get a good head start. Of course, like I said before, O Week is the time to for students to connect with other students and also to learn more about the services and the student associations that can help them both feel like this is their home and that can also help them to do well in their studies. Today is, of course, the start of orientation, and your student is most likely attending the big official welcomes. I also recommend that they attend any of the faculty welcomes. There they will be able to meet some of the key academics and also other peers that will be studying the same program as them. This is also where they often get a chance to meet some of the peer mentors that are very specific to their faculty too. So encourage them to attend the faculty welcomes as well. It's also just generally a really good time to get a lot of freebies and to just get immersed in the local community. We find that students that attend orientation and a week tend to do better in their first couple of weeks because they feel like they're already part of the community. They can see how holistically they're welcomed, and that already puts them at ease. And you will also most likely see a lot of our ongoing students, our current students attending a week, because everyone loves coming back for freebies and meeting other new students. I'm going to hand over to Lexi to talk about our wellness center.
Hi everyone, I'm a student volunteer, as you can see. And welcome to International Student Welcome Center. If you come here, there's a main street. You can see there's a big yellow sign. It's the International Student Welcome Center. And I am a cultural mentor and a less community facilitator. So I'd like to introduce our Welcome Center to you. It opens at the beginning of each term, and it is a good opportunity for you to chat with other students and learn about services available to you, including some social activities and also friendly events in term 3. And we will show you some guidance and support and information for the new students, and also help you to become a global citizen and make a big impact here. We would help you develop cultural awareness and ability to engage with diverse perspectives in a socially responsible way, and also enhance your professional skills while contributing to the community, and also collect with like-minded peers here. And we would run the Speeding Friends events in this Wednesday, and also we invited some funny animals friends here in this Tuesday, and we also have the tote bag crafting and the keychain painting in each day. So please welcome to join us and make new friends and meet some peer mentors, and we are here to help you. And also, I'd like to introduce another program for us. Here is the mentors. If you sign up for this program, you would as a mentee and get matched with the senior student friends like me, and we would help you to learn from us about how the Moodle system, which is the online platform we use in UNSW, and also how to involve in UNSW and living in Sydney. This would help you to have an easier transition to university, and which is the one-to-one support. And also, well, we would start this. For example, I like to share my story with my mentee here as a mentor, as a senior mentor. Last term, I am matched with my mentee. We share the same common country, which is China, and we also have the same mother language, Chinese, and we also from the same faculty. That is a good way for us to get close to each other and start a new journey for her. And of course, unfortunately, she met me after she meets the educational agent, which means she paid for the advice to enroll in the courses. As their clients, they don't answer her message after the working time. And also, that is a big fee for her since she's also an international student. But we are here for you, and our service is totally free. So we can help her about her class enrollment, and also after the term, I became her best friend in Sydney, and also become her interviewee for her first new report in her academic career, and I'm really proud of it. So if you would like your children to join our program, feel free to scan this QR code and to join us become a mentee. We are here to help you, and you would receive the guidance from the senior student to navigate UNSW life with confidence, and also make meaningful connections, participate in the social events, and also contribute to a positive student life. And also, we will help you to transition easier to the uni with the experienced student mentor as your guidance, and have the opportunity to practice your oral English through regular one-to-one time with your mentor, and also with other international friends. Thank you.
Thank you. The Culture Mentor program is amazing. It really helps our students settle in and adjust to life here. And who wouldn't want to be matched with someone like Lexi, for example, to just be that peer support that they can go to and ask any types of questions. We find that students find that way more comforting and easy to do than to come to staff to ask for support. So encourage your student to get a cultural mentor. And the great thing that Lexi is doing now is that she's giving back to the community. So she's become a cultural mentor. And not only does she give back to the community and volunteer her time to support students and settle in better, but it also shows in her academic transcript. So they do get recognition for it. So it's also a really good leadership opportunity for students to engage in. So also encourage a student later on to become a cultural mentor. It's a beautiful program. And I know that the cultural mentors, they tend to stay friends for a very long time. Some of them from way back when are still meeting each other, going on international trips to visit each other all over the world, and we hear the most beautiful stories from our previous cultural mentors. If you haven't already, also make sure that you do look at the International Student Life website, because it collects a lot of really important and useful information for international students, and that's where anything that's kind of particular for international students would be posted. I'll hand back again to Lexi.
I think the biggest difference from studying in the high school to studying in college or university is the transformation from being taught to teaching yourself. And here the professors, they would provide you all the learning resources, and you choose how to learn, you choose your own learning styles. And here we have so many online platforms to support you. The first one is my UNSW. This would guide you to the UNSW service and resources. For example, how to pay the fee, the enrollment, etc. And this would lead you to the other service here. And the Moodle is the learning management system, which is the most useful platform across our uni life. It's an open resource learning management system that is used to deliver some online courses. The professors, they would update the courses information, the online courses link, and also the reading materials, and even build a group discussion in this Moodle. So please enroll the Moodle system and check if the teachers already update their resources here. And also, my plan is the study plan and the progression tracker to help you. It is the best way for help you to create a full academic plan and also for reminder of your studies. You could access information on courses, pre-regulars, and historical term offering the bookmark courses. And also, the Trinity is the most assessment well examined through this platform, and it would check your assessments, AI rate, and also the similarity rate, and the teacher would mark your assessment according to this platform. And I highly recommend your children to check their student email regularly, because that is the main way for your students, for your children to contact with their lecturers or tutors. And also, the student life team, they would also offer some useful links and events and the key dates for you at the beginning of each week, I remember. So use your DID to sign up for the student email and check it regularly would help you to get through your uni life much more smoothly. And this fifth dome, I think our professor already introduced this for you. We hope you would never use that, but in case you would find the emergency alerts, the first aid, and other urgent, it would help you. And also, I know as a new student, it's hard for us to find the classroom in a big university. So Lost on Campus is here to help you. And also, if you really can't find your way, even through this app, welcome to International Student Welcome Center.
You'd be surprised, after 15 years at UNSW, I still use Lost on Campus, and sometimes Google Map, or I just wind up asking students and staff. It's a really big campus, and you tend to get a little bit siloed into the specific area where you are. But yeah, they'll get there. Our students often complain about there not being escalators from lower campus up to upper campus, because a lot of our international students in particular are not used to walking a lot. But you can tell them that it's really great. It has lots of positives to be out and about, get vitamin D, and they're getting all their exercise done while they're doing their classes at UNSW. Okay, so just some key dates for you to keep in mind. So our term officially starts next week on Monday. And it's also at the end of week 1 where they need to have settled their enrollment for the term. So that's the last day that they can make any changes to their enrollment through My UNSW. If they need to change any classes after that date, they would have to get permission from the lecturers, and they have to submit a late enrollment request. And the reason for that is because our terms are so short, and we don't want students to be disadvantaged in their studies. There's no such thing as a gentle start to the term because we have such short terms, which means that a student that would change a course in their second week would already be a little bit behind. So that's the reason for that. If your student would like to withdraw from any of the courses that they are taking without academic or financial penalty, then they have to do that before the census date of the term. The census date is usually in week 4, and for term 3, that's the 9th of October. So say that your student is enrolled in 3 courses, but they're finding something too overwhelming and they decide that they are going to take 2 courses only and then catch up by taking 3 courses next term instead, it's best that they withdraw before 9th of October, otherwise they'll get, they still have to pay for the course, and they could. Normally you would just go by the normal term dates for the majority of programs, but then there are sometimes also some intensive courses that are on offer, for example, in term 3C. But generally, you would look at term.
So these dates are the ranges within which specific course might have the.
Exactly. So if your student is enrolled, for example, in term 3C, a term 3C course, they will have different date ranges. Yes, that's a good question. And in case, yes.
Excuse me, we're enrolling for term 3, but from what I read online, it says at UNSW usually enroll for the whole year. For example, for next year, if you're starting in term 1, did you set your classes for the whole year, or would it be just like from that term start?
Students are often encouraged to do it for 1 year, but a lot of students just enroll term by term. So it doesn't matter so much. It's just to make sure to enroll as early as possible, just to make sure that you get a place in the actual course.
Thank you.
Yeah. So even if you don't enroll in the full year, you won't be disadvantaged, but I just encourage everyone to enroll as early as possible for each term.
Just curious about it.
Exactly. Yeah. Exams for term 3 will be organised between 28th of November to 11th of December. So in case you're already thinking about when your student can come and visit you back home, you should make sure to not book anything until after those dates. And that especially goes if they need to sit a supplementary exam, for example, if they've gotten sick and missed the initial exam. And then term 1 for next year starts the 16th of February. So that's the time period that you can enjoy their company in.
So basically, it's only December and Jan will be free. Otherwise, there are some challenges.
Yeah, it's quite a full schedule for students. But the term break that comes after term 3 and before term 1 starts, it's quite long. So unless you're doing any supplementary exam or if you're not doing any summer courses, you've got quite a long break. Yeah, until mid-February. Yeah. We are, however, later on, for those of you who have students who are going to be here for many years, we are later, they're still moving through the timeline for it, but we are going to move back from a 3-term system to a 2-semester system. From 2028. So some of you might still have students that will be able to enjoy that shift. There are positives and negatives with both systems. I've been here for long enough to have seen both. And I know that some students really thrive with a 3-term system, but I also know that it allows a little bit more time to breathe, to have 2 semesters. Yeah, so don't feel bad if your student has already left by the time our semester system starts. I'm sure that you're all very keen to know when you need to pay the tuition fees. So if you haven't done that already, the last day to pay for the tuition fees is at the end of week 1. As soon as students have enrolled, they will have their fee statements available through My UNSW, and you can pay through the fee statement directly or by using a wide range of different payment modes of payment. If your student hasn't paid, they will be sent reminders. If you do happen to overpay, so if you pay a little bit more than the fees are, then the money will not be absorbed by the university. It will sit within your student's account and will go towards the next term's fees. The same goes if your student withdraws from any courses. If they do, that credit will sit in their student account unless they apply for a refund. But it could be quite nice to just have that buffer sitting there, and that amount will then reduce the tuition fees that the student has to pay the following term.
And the payment schedule is per term or how is it?
Yes, you pay per term. Because it really depends on how many courses the student is enrolled in and how many units of credit each course is. Yeah, so it's payment per term. I do want to mention that it's good for you to just let your student know that there are lots of scams going around here as well as everywhere else. And some of our students have unfortunately been targeted by tuition fee scams as well. So if your student, for example, receives a message that says that if you pay through this pathway, you'll get a 25% discount in your tuition fees, it's too good to be true. So just be really mindful and aware that scams arrive here just as they are everywhere else. It seems like the majority of the students that have been targeted by scams have been Chinese students. Yeah, and it unfortunately happens, and they're very clever in the way that they set these things up, but they usually use WeChat to find students. But just be really mindful and aware. If your student does get targeted by any scams or involved or lose any money through scams, just encourage them to come and talk to us, and we can talk through safety protocols, or if they need anyone to go with them to the police to report it, we can do that as well. So we support a lot of students in that space as well. Or not a lot of students, but we support students a lot in that space as well. So results for term 3 will be released on the 18th of December. And no, you cannot contact us to get access to your students' results. So you have to make sure that you build enough trust with your student for them to be willing to share this with them, because they are adults and we operate under really tight privacy legislation. So unless we have a third-party authorization form signed by your student, we can't disclose the results to you. I do want you to know, though, that there are a lot of systems in place if a student fails courses. So if students fail courses, they get an email from the university encouraging them to get support. And we always hope, of course, that students will do that. So students who fail might get encouraged to talk to their faculty advisor, so a faculty advisor, a program specialist, and to come in and see us so that we can help them get back on track. And there are lots of different safeguards as well. We do also do some early intervention checks. So now with the help of AI, if a student doesn't log into Moodle, which is the learning platform, if they don't log in by week 2, an email will also go out to the student to encourage them to log in and engage with their studies. And if they haven't engaged with anything for quite a number of weeks, the faculty get involved and try to locate the student, or we might get involved. So just know that there are lots of safety checks there, that we aren't allowed to disclose any of their results. When it comes to supporting your student, I know that we're talking to a very captured audience. You're here because you really care about how your student does. So I don't have to really emphasize too many of these points. But I did put down some of the signs that you could look out for that might suggest that your student is not doing so well. If you notice that there are any changes in their behavior, or if they're not wanting to talk to you very often, sometimes it might be that they're just too busy making friends and participating in lots of student events. But if you notice out of norm behaviors in the way that they're engaging with you, or if they just look like they're not looking after themselves and you are concerned, then feel free to reach out to us and we can do a lean-in email to them and encourage them to come in and see us. Yeah, so just as you would if they're with you, just be really mindful of changes and and do whatever is necessary. Encourage them to seek help if you notice anything that is making you concerned. The same goes for overeating or undereating, or if they seem very tired, or they have a really low tolerance to extra demand, so they might seem a little bit more impatient with you, and that could suggest that they're not doing well. Try to make sure that you keep up the supportive environment, keep in touch with them regularly. Try to not be too demanding, rather just check in, see how is everything going. I've worked with supporting international students for a very long time now, and I know that a lot of them tend to only want to share the really good news with their parents because they're really worried about worrying their parents or causing their parents too much stress, especially because the parents are paying for their studies.
Yeah.
Now, a big thing for our students is that to even get into UNSW, you have to be a really great student. But when you come here, it can actually be a little bit overwhelming. Like, you have to adjust and adapt to being in Sydney, to a new learning environment. And it could be that the first couple of terms are actually quite difficult, but usually things improve after a while. So it's really extra important for both your student, but also for you, to just show your students some extra gentleness and kindness during this settled-in period. Otherwise, they might be quite unlikely to tell you what's going on, and then that can just build up the stress within them. Because of course, it's really hard for them if they're carrying a lot of stress and burden on their own. So try to just be as supportive and gentle as you possibly can with your student, especially in the first terms. And of course, encourage them to seek support now when you know what some of those supports are. If you don't remember anything from this session afterwards, because we go through so much information, just remember student support. It's quite an easy thing to remember, and just encourage them to see student support. And I've got some flyers down here that you can grab and give to them as well. Of course, students are navigating a lot of things while they're here. They're trying to cope with their study load, meeting their own expectations as well as your expectations. They're trying to balance life and studies, making new friends. This is also kind of the time when they're learning more about who they are as individuals and building their own identity. So of course a lot of things happen. They might also develop some really strong friendships and other relationships with people, and of course they can go well and they can go less so, which can also upset them throughout their time here. And so there will be a lot of managing the ups and downs of life in general. So go gently and encourage them to seek support if things are really hard for them, and just let them know that there's very holistic support available. And being a good parent and being a good listener actually means, listening 60% of the time. So if you know yourself that you like talking or like jumping in with solutions very quickly, try to just hold back on those. Try to let them figure out some of the solutions themselves. Or at least try to co-design the solutions with them so that they feel really involved. That's a really good way to engage with young adults. One thing that you could encourage them to do in the first couple of weeks is also to put together a timetable. So they should all print out their course outlines. And in their course outlines, they will be able to find out when all their assessments are due. And also when all their classes and tutorials or labs are held. And then it can be good to just put together a little bit of a schedule of when all those essentials are happening. When it comes to really good time management and doing really well in their studies, the non-negotiables to actually include in your schedule isn't just the study time, it's the things that they need to do to keep themselves well. We know that if students don't exercise or don't do things that are fun for them, or if they don't engage in any of their hobbies, they don't do better in their studies. They don't feel really well about life in general, and that can then translate into how they do academically. So it's actually really, really important that they schedule in a little bit of time for things that keep them well and will keep them happy. And the time that they need to schedule those well-being activities in the most is the time when they think that they have the least time for it. So during exam time, for example, a lot of our students stop looking after themselves. They start eating really unhealthy food. They stop exercising, even if that might be something that's really important to them. They stop spending time with friends.